Outlander is coming back with its eighth and final season, and I've honestly never been this excited for a finale. And the questions that fuel my excitement the most are, as you can guess, how Claire and Jamie are going to end up. Is Faith, Fanny's mother, actually Claire and Jamie's daughter? And who's the person calling out to Claire in the teaser? If you're also going crazy to find the answers to these questions, then you're in the right place because I'm about to tell you what's going to happen in episode 1 of season 8. First of all, let's start with the biggest mystery, Faith. The first episode of season 8 is going to pick up right after the season 7 finale. And last season, we found out that Fanny's mom's name was also Faith. And the song Fanny sang was the exact same one Claire sang to her stillborn baby, Faith. And at this point, I have an interesting theory to share with you. We all know that Master Raymond has healing powers just like Claire, and we've seen him appear in moments connected to Faith. My guess is that Claire and Jamie are going to start asking Fanny way more questions about her mother, and at least try to figure out if she looked like them. And when Claire, after asking all these questions, starts to believe that Fanny's mother could actually be her daughter, she's going to see Master Raymond again in her dream, and this time she's going to learn the whole story about Faith. My theory is that Master Raymond kept Faith alive and raised her the way Claire would have raised her. After learning this truth, I think Claire and Jamie are going to look at Fanny with even more affection. But at the same time, right from the very first episode, we're also going to see Jamie and William having another really tough conversation. Because if Faith, who was Fanny's mother, is really Jamie and Claire's daughter, then William would have slept with his own niece, Jane. And we all know how shocking that's going to be for everyone. But do shocks ever end in Outlander? Of course not. So now I want to move on to the second biggest mystery of the season. As you can guess, while Blood of My Blood is still going full force, the person calling Mrs. Fraser in the Outlander Season 8 teaser is currently one of the biggest mysteries waiting to be solved. And if we consider the fact that Blood of My Blood was released before Season 8 to connect the shows, and Claire asking, is it possible? The possibility that the person speaking to Claire is her father Henry is currently really high. At this point, I want to talk a little bit about Blood of My Blood. As of episode 10, we know that Henry and Julia are officially making their escape plans. And in episode 11, we'll probably see them head to the Stones. If they manage to escape and travel through time, since Claire is in their minds, maybe they'll actually travel to their daughter. Or maybe by accident, they'll end up in the time when Claire is already old. And so through a change in the story, we might finally see this family reunited in Outlander's final season. Let me ask you, would you want Henry and Julia to reunite with their daughter? Or is it more important for you that the story doesn't change? Let me know in the comments. Another possibility for this mysterious person is William, Claire's brother, whose birth we also witnessed in Blood of My Blood. But suddenly bringing this William, who we've never heard about until now, in front of Claire would feel way too rushed. That's why the highest possibility I see right now is that the mysterious person will be Henry, coming with Julia and the newborn William to see their daughter. But since this is Jamie and Claire's farewell season, we probably won't see Henry and Julia throughout the whole season. Most likely after they see Claire, they'll have to leave right away. And we'll witness this miraculous reunion, even if it's very short. Speaking of Jamie and Claire's farewell, let's move on to the most important storyline we'll see starting in episode 1, Jamie's death in battle. From the teaser, we know Bree is going to bring Jamie Frank's book, and Jamie will learn from it that he'll die at the Battle of King's Mountain. But, as you can guess, Jamie will still join this battle, even knowing death is waiting for him. In episode 1, we'll see both the build-up to this war and Claire slowly realizing the extent of her healing powers. We know that both Master Raymond and a Native American shaman told Claire her healing powers would fully come once her hair turned completely white. And over the seasons, her hair has indeed been turning whiter and whiter. My guess is that when Jamie gets mortally wounded or even dies in this battle, Claire, now fully wise with her completely white hair, will bring him back to life with the blue light. Of course, we'll see that scene later in the season, but I expect hints toward it starting right from episode 1. Now let's also take a look at the side characters' storylines. For me, one of the most important ones is Ian and Rachel, one of my favorite couples in the show. In the season 7 finale, we saw that Rachel was pregnant and the couple was truly happy. But in the teaser, Ian and Rachel looked devastated. This could mean we might see Rachel suffer a miscarriage as early as episode 1, but honestly, I don't even want to consider that possibility. Let's hope the reason for their sadness is something much less heartbreaking. We can also talk about Bree and Roger. Thankfully, they reunited in the season 7 finale and were on their way back to Jamie and Claire. But in the teaser, seeing Bree and Roger hugging each other with worry and without their kids by their side really made me anxious. The first thought that came to mind was that maybe in the very first episode of the new season, they'll lose their children somewhere, or maybe during time travel. But if their worry isn't about losing the kids, then I'd say Roger, just like Jamie, will join the Battle of Kings Mountain, and that's why Bree looks so scared. But deep down, I want this beautiful couple to have a happy ending, and maybe even another child together. All right, now let's talk about when we'll actually get to watch this first episode of the epic final season. Even though we don't have a confirmed date yet, we know for sure the show is coming in early 2026. And since filming wrapped in September 2024 and reshoots ended in March 2025, I think a February release is very possible. Now it's your turn. What do you want to see in episode 1 of Outlander season 8? Write it in the comments and watch this video next.